Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce, New West Radio Network, New West Radio Theater. I know I did a podcast earlier, but I want to throw another one in here for you. A lot of things. Now, let me also say this. I'm on my Spreaker app on my tablet, and the recording, it says recording in the upper right-hand corner of my thing here, and it's dimming out, brightening up, dimming out. So if we get cut off, it's not my fault, it's the Wi-Fi. Okay, just want to tell you that. Anyway, how am I sounding? Am I sounding good? Okay. You can support the network by going to patreon.com/New West Productions. That's patreon.com/New West Productions. Also go to the website at newwestradionetwork.weebly.com. A lot of things going on, and I just want to follow up on a couple of things that I talked about earlier today on my podcast, on both my podcasts, actually. Everybody has, let me start out by saying this, everybody has their own perspective. Everybody has their own perspective. It's not that what I'm saying is the way that everybody else has to see it. It's not that way. Everybody has their own perspective. Okay, I get this. I understand this. What I am trying to do is I'm not trying. Try not do or do not. What I am doing is giving you the information that I know, giving you the information I see, and hopefully encouraging you to go look it up. That is the purpose of the podcast. Not so much telling you, who, what, when, why, where, and how. Even though I do that, I tell you who's behind the curtain, pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. But I want you to understand how things literally are transpiring and why. It's like the mainstream propagandists are giving you one thing, the YouTuber vloggers and the bloggers and some of these, stupid websites are giving you something else. What you have to do is you have to look at yourself and say, what is true for me? What is true for me? Folks, I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm sitting in my living room talking on my, using my tablet to do this. And I'm using the Spreaker mobile app to do this. Now, why I say that is because I want to use that as an example. If you know that something is being done a certain way, if you know that something is being done a certain way, would you not try to find the truth and facts of that circumstance, issue, situation, to better understand what's happening? I mean, I would think so. I do that every single day. Now, here's the thing. I have a mantra, and the mantra is what's true for you is true for you as you observe it. That is my mantra. My other mantra, my other little rules are, no one has a right to tell me what to do, except the boss that pays me every 2 weeks. And since I don't have one of those, I don't have a boss that pays me every 2 weeks, then no one has a right to tell me what to do. No one has a right to tell me things I already know. And if you think I don't already know them, how about asking me some questions? You know what I mean? No one has a right to criticize me for things they don't understand. If you don't understand something, just ask. And no one has a right to contradict me. We can talk about everything under the sun. We can agree on one thing. We can disagree on something else. That's fine. Just don't contradict me. Okay, no one has a right to do that. Now, those 4 rules are there for a reason, and I've been living those rules for a few decades. And I got to tell you, people violate those rules every single day. So what does that tell me? What is true for me is true for me as I observe it. What am I observing? I am observing people who want to tell me what to do. They're not paying me. They're not doing it. They're just wanting to tell me what to do, how to think, how to be, what I should be, what they think I should be, all this. They're full of crap, and they always have been, and they always will be. What they have to understand is you don't have a right to tell me what to do unless you pay me every 2 weeks, and then obviously I got to do what I got to do, right? So I say that for this reason. When you look at something and someone tells you it's something, do you believe them? If somebody tells you something, and they look at you and they say, hey, look, there's that news story on CBS. I mean, it said this, and this other person is saying, no, that's not right. This other website or this other network is saying something totally different. What are you going to believe? What are you going to believe? You're going to believe exactly what you know in your heart is right and true and factual and what you can back up with evidence. I mean, isn't that common logic? What we have in the second part of this, no one has a right to tell me things I already know. There are certain things out there that we know. There are certain things out there that we understand. There are certain things out there that we learned ourselves, that we've, developed ways to understand these things for ourselves. And no one has a right to tell you any different, because what is true for you is true for you as you observe it, as you see it. Okay? So there's that. Now, the third part of that is no one has a right to criticize me for things they don't understand. Being critical is not being negative. Being critical, from my perspective, is holding the other person accountable for what they say and do. Being critical is having a view of something that is not right or something that is right, and being self-aware of that on your own, criticizing yourself for what you did or did not do in the right way, or you did something wrong and you have to make amends, right? We are more critical about ourselves than we are about anybody else, it seems. But that's only because we're impatient. Think about that one. I'll come back to that one later. But the last one is, excuse me, no one has a right to contradict me, okay? No one has a right to contradict me. So let's take that as a whole. No one has a right to contradict anybody for anything under the sun whatsoever. Okay, let's just go that far. But people are always going to create conflict. Why? Because they're always going to criticize things they don't understand, and they're always going to contradict something that is far beyond their own personal beliefs. This is something that I've known for many, 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 many years. And it has gone from one aspect to the other, from one end of the spectrum to the other. And people have always told me, and I've had people tell me to my face, I cannot have those rules. Or they've said, oh, those rules isolate other people from you. No, they don't. They incorporate other people's views as well. Because it's obvious to me, and it should be obvious to anybody, but it's obvious to me that what I know because I know it. Because I've learned it, because I've understood it, because I came to that portion of understanding those things along the way throughout my life. Okay? What is true for you is true for you as you observe it. I cannot make you think any other way. I can't throw you face down on the ground, put your arm behind your back and say you're going to believe this. No, I can't do that. All I can do is give you the information. You go out and check. Hopefully, I encourage you to go out and check it out yourself and draw your own conclusion on it. I hope I do that. I really do. If you don't, yeah, it's no sweat off my nose. You didn't do it. That's fine. But here's the other thing, and I'm going to throw this in here as well. And it's really this. It comes down to really basically understanding where your faults and flaws are. Yes, don't even, no. We all have faults. We all have flaws. We all have problems. We all know this. We know this. We know we have problems. We understand this. It's there. How do you deal with them every day? How do I deal with my anxiety every day? How do I deal with my, with all of that? How do I deal with the stress every day? It's called breathing exercises and yoga and meditation and all of that. And just taking time to realize what it is and taking care of the situation as it arrives, as it starts to build in your life, one day at a time. You cannot overcome years of problems overnight. You can't. It does take a little bit of time. Give you a prime example and a confession. I've been clean and sober for over 32 years. I quit doing all that crap when I was in my, 32 years ago. And I can tell you right now, for me to be completely at that level that I know that I succeeded in my, in my rehabilitation, took me about 5 years. So it doesn't happen overnight. The thing is that I feel better now than I ever did before. My body, on the other hand, with all the physical labor and the work and the construction and the warehousing and all that physical hard labor of my life, really did a number on my body. So there are certain things I cannot do anymore. It's hard for me to do some other things as well. I can't climb around buildings and run wire through houses anymore. I can't dig, 6 foot deep holes by 3 foot round anymore. I can't, really do as much as I would like. But does that stop me? No. I go for walks. We walk around the mall. I have a bike. I get on the bike. I ride as much as I am comfortable to do so. It keeps me, focused on, trying to heal up my body. I'm being totally honest with you. And there are people out there who feel the same way. Oh my God, I can't get up. I can't do this. I can't. Yeah, you can. You just got to take it one moment at a time. And it's basically, you got to pace yourself. If you're out, let's say you're just out walking, you want to take a walk, you're walking around the mall, you're doing something, you're shopping, you're whatever, but you're walking, you're on your feet, and your legs start to hurt. Me, I have a really banged up right knee, and it hurts like hell most of the time. So I just pace myself. If I feel like I can, walk a little further before sitting down, then I'm going to do that. And if I feel like, oh, there's a place to sit down, I'm going to go sit down and rest a little while. Does that stop my leg from hurting? No, but it helps me, rest a little bit. Now, I say all that because there's a reason for it. Now, we all have perspectives that we see things from. And we look at ourselves subjectively and say, I can't do this, I can't do that, or I'm unable to do this, or I'm unable to do that, or whatever it may be. Whatever you've developed a narrative in your mind to believe, then that's what you're going to believe. That's all that's there. It's never going to go away until you realize just how limiting it truly is to you. You get rid of that and you start taking the measures a little bit at a time to get out and do things, you're going to find yourself feeling much, much better. I could sit around the house all day long, but I don't. I get up, I walk, I gotta walk, gotta exercise, we go for, we go to the store, whatever. We have to do what we have to do. I'm not going to let minor or moderate limitations to my body cause me just to be all, sad about myself and fall into that self-pity mode and sit around the house all day. I'm not going to do that. I got to get up and go do stuff. Now, I say all that to make this point, and then I'll move on to something else. And that is, I know what I can do. So I'm going to tell you, you know what you can do. You know what you can do. I don't know what that is because I'm not there with you, but you know what you can do. I don't see why you have to put up with a boss at work telling you that you have a quota to get certain things in at a certain time or anything like that. I don't know why you can't find something you enjoy doing and want to do to help, make a life for yourself. Have a side hustle or something that makes more money than what you make doing your 9 to 5, I mean, I'm a voiceover person. I do voiceover, and I haven't gotten paid for it yet because, well, no one's hired me yet. So I've got to, I joke around. I got to pimp myself out. You know what I mean? I gotta put myself out there. I gotta make myself known. And New West Radio Network is a good place to do that. That's my, forte. That's my network here on Spreaker and elsewhere. But I also have New West Radio Theater, which I do voices, on, and I write radio plays, and I pay homage to old-time radio shows and stuff like that. I'm also a stage actor. Now, that's, I love doing that. But being on stage is something that I've always done for close to 20 years now. And, again, it's one of those things where you know what you can do, you know your limitations, you know what you're capable of beyond that limitation, okay? And with me, with what I do, this is what I do. I do podcasts, I write, I can't sit down very long, I can't stand up very long, but I get done what I get done. I pace myself, and usually it works out just fine. Okay. But we all know what we need to do. And we look at this environment and we say, well, how do I change? Well, it's real simple. You can change you within your environment. Because right now you're allowing your environment, whoever is in it, whatever is in it, to change you. No, that's not how life works. You change your environment for the betterment of not only yourself, but of other people and the people around you and your coworkers and your and friends and family. I mean, you have to change your environment. Now, of course, if you have too much impinging upon your environment, well, that usually means you got to walk away for a little bit, take a look at it objectively, and find out and make plans and structure those plans in such a way to where when you come back into your environment, you're going to change it almost immediately. Now, it is, I know I'm getting deep and I'm telling you things you probably already know. So, moving on to something else. Just to tell you what's happening on the network, the Wayne S. Pierce Show, which I used to do for several years, is on temporary hiatus right now. I'm remodeling the show. I'm revamping the show. I've got to do some other things there. I have New West Radio Theater, which I need voices for. So if you're up for lending me your voice. I can't pay anybody right now, so I'm just being straight up with you. So if you want to help out, great. If you want to do something in trade where I do something for you, you do something for me, that's great too. I can do that. But I really need voices for New West Radio Theater because I'm trying to grow. The network. I'm trying to grow what it is, and what it is I want it to be a network of various shows, various degrees of shows, various topics, various themes. Right now, I've got my New West Radio Network podcast, which I talk about many different things. It's kind of a combination of the Wayne S. Pierce Show and the New West Radio Network podcast. So it's kind of like that. But I don't, I talk about things. I've got New West Radio Theater, which is radio theater, paying homage to old-time radio shows and writing original stuff as well. I have Haunted Reality, which is part of New West Radio Theater. And I've got Haunted Reality True Crime. In other words, yes, you heard that. Haunted Reality True Crime. And in those areas of true crime, in history, I go two ways with this. One, has there been paranormal activity in those areas? And two, what was that situation? What was that crime? And how was it solved, if it was solved? So I go into that. And my next true crime podcast in Haunted Reality is the Jim Jones story, basically Jonestown and People's Temple and how the FBI had a file on him and everything else. So anyway, I'll get into that. That's not so much paranormal, but it is, it is what it is. I've got that. New West Radio Theater, Haunted Reality. I've got the UFO Phenomenon, which is on Sunday nights, live, Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on New West Radio Network. And I talk about UFOs, and I talk about aliens, and I talk about how everything, everything that is pertaining to UFOs, abductions, all of that, and all of that stuff. And so what I do is I talk about UFOs. I had to do something there. I was multitasking, sorry. Talk about UFOs, talk about abductions, talk about just a lot of stuff pertaining to that particular subject. And that's about what I have on the network. Plus, I have other shows on the network. I have True Crime Podcast, done by Stephen Pacheco and Erica Kelly and Jamie Rice and others. And then I have another show called Hawk Chronicles on New West Radio Theater. And that's a radio play, radio drama as well from, I forget the people that do it, but it's the title of the story is Hawk Chronicles, and you can go to hawkchronicles.com for more information about the show itself. So yeah, that's what I do on New West Radio Network, and I promote people. I want people to advertise on the network. Advertising is going to cost you a lot less than a month's worth of lattes. Figure it out. You go out to your favorite coffee place and you pluck down at least $5 for a latte. Calculate that out in 30 days. You're paying a lot for those lattes. And advertising on New West Radio Network is going to cost you a lot less than that. So if you want to know more, of course, you can email me at newwestradioproductions@outlook.com. newwestradioproductions@outlook.com. But I promote people such as a friend of mine in Washington State. You can go listen to his show, Hughes from the Heart. Hughes from the Heart, Positivity Podcast. And you can get it at patreon.com/ Spencer Hughes. Patreon.com/Spencer Hughes. You can also go listen to somebody else that I know, Mr. Michael Vera. And he is over at latenightinthemidlands.com. And that's latenightinthemidlands.com. He was also on an episode of Paranormal Survivor, so you might want to check that out. I forgot what episode it was, but you can check that out too. But that's Michael Vera. He hosts Late Night in the Midlands over at latenightinthemidlands.com. And you can check him out. You can check out a friend of mine if you're into independent films, and if you're an independent author or independent musician. Go to Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. Go check out my friend Mr. Tom Slick, who hosts The Morning Brew at Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. You can go to the website at 926theblitz.rocks. That's ROCKS. 926theblitz.rocks. Tell Mr. Tom Slick of The Morning Brew that I sent you on over there. Anyway, folks, I want to get out of here, and I just wanted to let you know what's happening with the network, and I just wanted to give you a little something to carry on with you in your life, and just let you know that I want to build this network, and the only way that I can do that is if you can help, and I would like you to help, and you can by going to patreon.com/New West Productions, patreon.com/New West Productions. You can go there, help out. At least $5 a month is what I'm looking for. So if you want to do that, then that's great. There's other ways to support me there as well. That's patreon.com/New West Productions. Folks, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I got stuff to do. Okay? I got stuff I gotta take care of. So you guys, you guys are going to hear me tomorrow. I'll be on the New West Radio podcast. So, I'll talk to you tomorrow.